everything.
The Hurricane Pike Rupture! Absolute destruction coming out from Liquid. Solo, beautiful feed grip onto Mugi. Rampage for no one. GG is called.
Hello, good morning, guten tag, bonjour, how are you doing? My name is Nomad, he's my Farah, and this is the ESL One Hamburg China Qualifier semi-final match. And we have Team Serenity versus Team Newbee.
It's
again.
It's a big game, this one, though. I'll be interested to see. We talked about the mini meta yesterday, right, between the two teams.
Yes, yeah, which kind of evolves through these best-of-3 matches.
Exactly. Is it going to evolve even further now that they've kind of had more time to figure each other out? I'm sure they've played each other loads recently. They must have scrimmed as well. So, but this is different. You know, it's fresh. We start again. So let's see if Serenity can try and turn this one around and win the series themselves today.
Yeah, absolutely. And talking about turning things around, we already have a draft on our hands, and one team's taking it normal, one team's going a little bit off the rails. Let's see what heroes we've got coming out so far in this draft. So obviously, Newbee going for this Winter Wyvern and the Centaur. Meanwhile, Team Serenity take Io Gyrocopter, the Classic, and now a Tiny as well. So, interested to see what Newbee are going with this.
Yeah, I don't like that they've given Serenity their Io Gyro. We saw about how much work it could do yesterday in Game 1. Then the Wisp gets banned out Game 2 and 3. So
yeah. Feels like a bit of a memory reset.
It does, yeah. The thing is, though, they've picked this Wyvern first, so they knew it was coming. You know, Wyvern's one of the best heroes against the Wisp because, you know, they're always close to each other because of the tether. So they have planned for this, and they pick it. Yeah, this Centaur's a little bit weird as well. Inflame's very good at this hero, though. So if anybody can make it work, it's definitely him. But yeah, we go back to the PYW Tiny as well. He is very good at that hero.
He certainly is. And now Vengeful Spirit coming out for Newbee. So is this going to be like a kind of attempt to break up the Gyro and the Io, pull them apart, so it were?
Yeah, I think it's really nice with the Centaur and lane as well. You have super good kill potential between the Centaur and the Venge. Like, if you look at the moment between Newbee, it doesn't matter if they put the Wyvern or the Venge with the Centaur, they're still going to have kill potential all the time throughout the lane. So I think when you pick up this Centaur, you need to make sure you have that from your other support. What do they go for on Serenity, though? You would assume they would pick up the next support here, but Bane's been banned, which is the one that we usually see with the Wisp. This is a hard one.
Maybe they go for something. Well, I mean, I imagine they need some kind of stun, some sort of catch here. So,
I would normally say Lion, but I think the Lion's too weak in the lane.
Maybe we'll see a Shadow Shaman.
Possibly. I mean, Z-Freak's been doing work on that hero.
He has the best Shadow Demon. Sorry, Shadow Shaman around in town.
Do you know why? That's because he's the only one playing it.
Well, true. Yeah. It's pretty easy to be the best. He's also the best and the worst because there's only one.
Yeah,
so
true.
Yeah.
What do they? So they're probably going to put the Tiny in the offlane. So this is going to be Xinq's hero. This is a tough one. You want something with the Tiny, so you want kill potential. Maybe like a Chen would be okay. I don't know if they play Chen or if Xinq plays it because he was playing core last year. So sometimes when you make this transition from one position to the next, you have to take time to learn all the heroes.
Okay, they go for the Disruptor then. That's interesting. I would have thought Disruptor would kind of be more likely to be a response from Newbee to the Io Gyro. Obviously, they didn't go for that. And yeah, this is a good Clink game.
Yeah, I like the Disruptor pick. The reason why Bane is picked up so much with Wisp is because you have the setup ready for the relocate in. Disruptor's the same thing. The only thing I would say about Disruptor is it's really easy to play the hero when you're ahead, but if you're overplaying from behind, then the hero can feel really underwhelming sometimes. So it's up to Serenity here to make sure they have a good start to make use of this Disruptor. Yeah,
I understand where you're coming from because, Glimpse is very much a spell where unless you're chasing, it feels pretty bad. Like as a counter initiation tool, it's just not very good. Like if someone jumps into your base and you glimpse them out, then half the time you're doing them a favor, half the time, it's not that beneficial, and they just come back in anyway. So yeah, Glimpse is a really, really, really good situational spell, and probably his best spell in a lot of situations. But then on the other hand, it's just not that great in other situations. So it's an interesting one.
We talked about in Asta's series yesterday about how they had such good chase. Feels like Serenity have got the same thing again here, where if they find one kill, they're instantly going to be able to move on to the next one with the glimpse, with the blink from the Tiny. They've got the tether movement speed as well. But yeah, this Clinks pick is a little bit interesting. It's a good hero, and it lanes up pretty well against the Gyro and the Tiny as well. So like between them, I think they should be pretty happy with this Clinks pick. And they don't have a huge amount of burst damage on the Serenity side at the moment. It's kind of only really the Tiny. So if this Clinks can get a decent BKB timing this game, you know, a lot of this magical damage coming out from Serenity at the moment is going to be completely negated. And Clinks is going to be able to get some free pot shots off at the start of the fight.
Yeah, absolutely. Alrighty then, Newbee. So coming into the final pick for them, there's gonna think they need a mid laner. Meanwhile, Team Serenity, they're still pretty open. They can put the Tiny mid, they can put the Tiny in the off lane. What would you do?
I think you give PYW the Tiny, the off lane player.
Yeah, true. Alright, Lena coming out for Newbee. And now the mid laner for Team Serenity, they get the choice, they get the 10th pick, they can pick whatever they want versus Lena. Can't see a whole lot of like kind of those, you know, Brood doesn't seem good here. In fact, I feel like that's one of the reasons Lena is so popular right now, because she just stops you getting brooded.
It's not amazing against the Brood. It's pretty good. It's one of the better ones. The thing is, if you ever like miss your stun on the Brood, then he just runs you down.
Yeah.
So you have to be super careful when playing that matchup with the Lena. But they do play Brood Serenity. So, but again, you know, against the Centaur, against the Wyvern, they have decent wave clear to deal with it.
Ooh, okay, Serenity. Taking the gloves off and going into town, they pick themselves up the Invoker to round off this draft. So it's going to be a ZYD Invoker coming at you in the middle lane versus SDCC on the Lena. And, well, I think we've got a match in our hands.
I completely agree. I'm really hoping it's going to be a Crosswex Invoker as well by ZYD. It depends if they feel like they need something that can scale more, or whether they want more of like a tempo controller, something like that. But I feel like they're if they go for this Crosswex Invoker, it's important that this Wish Gyro has a good game, because otherwise, you know, it gets to this late game, Invoker will scale, he'll get the Ags eventually, but it's not, you know, the normal style of Invoker that we used to see. Not so much anymore, but
yeah, but at the same time, like I would much prefer to see the Crosswex Invoker this game. The control seems really important for them. You know, you've got the IO, so you already have a fundamental lack of lockdown and catch, because one of your supports is essentially a power-up but for your carry more than anything. You know, he's got catch with the balls, but it's just not enough when his Invoker can really pick up the slack with a Tornado. It's also, I really like it versus the Centaur Warrunner, just because you can usually cast Tornado before he can cast Stomp if you're quick enough, so there's a lot of options here. I do like the Invoker pick, and I'm excited to see it coming out as we get into game number 1 in this best-of-3 series. It's a rematch, Newbee versus Serenity. Newbee did take the first series earlier on in this tournament, but now they're back wanting to take vengeance. It was not clear-cut at all. It was one game ahead, and then a very, very tense and close third game, which evened things, which actually brought Newbee to the victory. So here we go, game number 1, and yeah, I'm definitely, I think. It's hard not to bet on Serenity when they have their gyro IO.
Yeah, I agree. They're very good with these heroes, and if Serenity do win this game, I'm already seeing this Wish being banned out next game already. It's
usually what happens.
It's so good. XCJ comes and drops a ward down in the mid lane, but it actually gets spotted by the Radiant ward that was already there.
Whoops.
So I imagine Faith is going to go and get some dewarding done here.
You know, SDCC just coming up to the top, helping to apply some pressure before going for that block.
Ooh, did it? I'm not actually sure if the Radiant saw that ward. I think their vision might have just not seen the Disruptor.
Hard to tell. He would have only glimpsed into it anyway, which is fitting. But yeah, it's hard to tell. But you know, if you're not like being really, you know, first game of the day, maybe they missed it. Maybe they missed it. We'll give them a free pass if they did. We'll see.
This tiny Disruptor lane, they're actually putting it up against the Centaur Wyvern, so I really don't want to have to deal with that Centaur with the IO Gyro.
Faith and Wakesy coming in, just chasing them off. And that's going to be 2 bounties ahead. There's Zinkyu and GGG. Going to collect both of theirs down in the bottom lane as well.
If you see this, Clink started moving over towards top lane because they want to lane him against the Tiny. And Tiny without any armor does really badly in that lane. So at the same time, Serenity just doing the same thing. They match them. And so they send the IO Gyro top.
Yep. And yeah, after that, I don't think they'll keep on swapping. I think you just kind of got to bite the nail when it comes down to it at the end there.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm very interested in this mid lane matchup, Invoker versus Alina. I imagine Lina will probably get an early advantage, but then, you know, especially without the Exalt build as well on ZYD, things could start to, you know, get tough for him quite quickly just because you don't have that extra damage to last hit with. But then again, you've got the Quas orbs in order to help you heal up, which is quite nice versus the constant harass of Alina.
Yeah, we see some Quaswex Invokers like picking up an early point in Exalt at level 1 just to help them last hit, but not this time for ZYD.
Arctic Burn being used in the bottom lane in conjunction with the stun from Centaur just to throw out a load of harass onto XCJ and PYW. As they get to brawling, gloves off in this bottom lane.
Yeah, one of the reasons we don't see Disruptor picks up so much these days is that he's really weak in the laning stage. Like this Thunderstrike's really nice, but you don't really trade right clicks very well. If you ever get caught out of position, you're pretty much dead every time. So I think XCJ has to be a little bit careful here on the Disruptor, especially against this good kill combination that we mentioned of the Wyvern and the Centaur. I'm really interested to see how well this top lane goes as well. This IO Gyro should do okay. You know, if they can ever catch this Wisp out of position, they have the damage to be able to rip through him with Clink's Searing Arrows.
Didn't manage to kill the bomb there. They tried, but wasn't quite enough. I take it Strafe doesn't dodge the bomb, right? Like, bomb's not a projectile, it's a
Do you know what? Good question.
Thank you.
I'm not sure. I think it does, but I'm not 100% sure.
Yikes. This does not please me, if that is the case.
Faith is... Oof.
He's doing alright. Clink's taken once again. Another big old donk to the face, but yeah, Zinky's got to be careful, because if he gets stunned up by Faith, then he's gonna die pretty quick.
I don't know if you saw, there was a really nice pull in the bot lane as well. Serenity there. Just steal some XP away. So it gets some extra CS on the Tiny, but feels like all 6 cores should be getting something in their lanes here. Clink seems to be suffering the most, just because of this constant spam coming out from the Gyro with the mana restoration from the Wisp. But
oh, Invoker taking a bit of damage from SDCC here, and there's a Fairy Fire to save ZYD. So getting close, but no cigar. On top lane, oh, Faith could be in trouble. Rocket Barrage is out, and the ball does connect. Xingqiu draws first blood.
So you can't let the IO Gyro get the ball rolling. We saw it yesterday. We've talked about it.
Scary.
He's got the bottle now on the Wisp as well. So.
Oh yes, he's going to be healing up the Gyro even more.
I think it's not even just the HP regen. It's giving him all this mana to be able to spam the homing missile, the flat cannon. And this Clinks is struggling to deal with the constant harass. I love that Mugi's actually not taking a point in his strafe or his skeleton walk here either, just in case.
Yeah, he's holding it. Wants to be certain. Courier coming up right in front of Faith, but they've got the Fortify on it, so pretty impossible to kill it. And these are a lot of homing missiles. GG is throwing them out there. He's got the Wisp, so might as well make use of all that juicy mana he's giving you. Stand out onto the Io though. Mugi does not want to follow up, and now the Rocket Barrage comes through. Mugi is low as these balls come in, but Faith takes them all. Mugi wandered up and gets himself away. Doesn't look like there's going to be a kill here, but Serenity just laying down the pressure in this top lane.
This Clinks is not doing as well as they'd have hoped. You know, I feel like he's the big carry this game. You know, they have the Lina that can scale. Oh, Faith is... Oh, okay. That's...
Going down again. Caught out by the Gyro.
I feel like these position 5s have to be so careful about their positioning. Like we mentioned about Disruptor before, but Venge is the same. They're so quick when they have this tether movement speed on the IO Gyro. You have to be a little bit more careful here if you're Faith. And Xingqiu's going to get the double bounty rune bottled as well on the Wisp. So he's going to be very happy. Lots of mana regen. And Faith, I think Faith's in trouble again in the top lane.
Again, Faith. Oh, those in queue. Taking a lot of damage as well as Faith piles in, and they are able to finish off the Wisp, but Mugi getting low. Has to play around here. Faith got to be careful as well, but GG just eats the tree, but now the stun comes out. They're turning it around. Wakesey's in as well. Gyro taking the damage. And no, Faith will fall. GGG will not. Meanwhile, in the middle lane, they go for the gank here, but doesn't pay off as ZYD goes down, and SCCC going for more. He wants XCJ as well. XCJ, though, moving around. One more right click will be needed from SCCC. Wolves find it.
Oh, is he going to kill him? That's a Fairy Fire.
Fairy Fire used. That's a buyback from XCJ.
What?
Okay. I don't know.
Fair enough.
I don't know. Misclick?
Yeah, sure, why not?
I'm sure it's just some next level thing which we're completely unaware of. It's usually the case.
I didn't see if the Centaur was diving the Tiny there, so he had to buy back and TP in, but...
Yeah, that's a possibility. Well, there's that side field up, but they get the toss off as well, and Tiny just drops, and Flame is dead. That was quick.
Yeah, this is the problem when the Wyvern rotates away to go to the top lane.
And look at Wyvern just coming into this lane with the Wind Sparse and the Arctic Burn. PYW falling very, very low to that.
Yeah, this Tiny... He got a bottle of his own, but did they actually... I don't think they got the runes in the bot side. Oh, they got at least one, actually. Yeah, they got one bottled up before, but yeah, Tiny needs more regen down here. He's struggling a little bit.
And Faith just throwing out these Wave of Terrors constantly. It's a lot of damage with the Clinks as well. Rocket Spam, constant with the flat cannon as well. Actually, Io coming in. He's pretty low here. Doesn't get stunned up by Faith, though.
Yeah, Zinky's just playing with fire here on this Wisp, isn't he? He's playing it close. Not a bad thing, necessarily. Yeah, I forgot to say before, when that Disruptor rotated towards mid lane to kill the Lina.
Oh, Tornado out in the mid lane with the Ice Cold Snap as well, but just a bit of friendly harass. Getting rid of SCCC's mana.
Yeah,
making his lane a little bit easier.
It's really nice to be able to drain away his mana as well, because it stops his kill potential with the Laguna Blade if he doesn't have the full combo. So,
yeah, true.
Good to have.
Good to have indeed. Well, Mugi just face tanks them.
Normally we see Clinks just skip the skeleton walk at the moment, and they go for like the 2-2 or 2-3-0 at the start in the laning phase. But I think this game he has to take a point in the skeleton walk mid.
Centaur ulti for ZYD here. Can they finish him off? He goes invis. They have the damage. SCCC's gonna have to dodge. No, he didn't even really guess it. He just threw it under the tower. And ZYD with the invis escape. That was a Centaur ulti committed as well. That was a lot of commitment to a kill there, which kind of surprised me they didn't have dust.
Yeah, especially when you're gagging an Invoker. It's not like it's a surprise invis route or something, is it? You know he's going to have that invis up. He's playing Quaswex.
I mean, they nearly got him anyway, but yeah, not quite, so.
Yeah. It's pretty close, though, overall, between both sides. I think this Invoker's struggling a little bit up against Alina, but that's kind of to be expected. You know, when you play this Quaswex Invoker, you tend to have a little bit of a rough laning stage.
Yeah. But the Gyro did really well at top, which is what we were saying in the draft. You know, if this Gyro does well, then it could cause real problems for Mugi.
Yeah, this Invoker can catch up with kills as well, so he should be okay. So yeah, they're just going to push in this top lane on the Gyro. I wonder, are they making any ancient stacks for him? Doesn't look like they are. I'm surprised. I thought this Disruptor might be trying to look to stack this bot area more with the 3 camps.
Yeah, I think he's just been very active around on this bottom lane and coming into mid as well and such, so.
I think the big thing for Serenity...
Centaur ulti for the bottom lane, they're going in.
Well, they actually kill the Lina mid as well at the same time with the relocate.
Nice.
Boy.
Okay.
Oh, that was really nice by Wakesey on the Wyvern there. I don't know if you saw, he tried to pull the creep camp so he could use the Splinter Blast to hit the Disruptor, but didn't quite manage it.
Nearly very good. Well, now Alex burn up on the high ground as they toss up the Evoker, actually. Get him right on top of Wegsy there and finish him up. And now the stun comes out to the Evoker. ZYD could be in trouble. Moogie's chasing him down, but the Invis again gonna save him here. Meanwhile, PYW up onto the high ground. Centaur cannot chase.
Faith really needs to pick up some dust on this Venge. It's getting a little bit worrying, honestly.
What's this? Come on, Courier. Come on, Courier.
Yeah.
Yay!
What do you notice? Yeah. I think is that kind of thing should only happen once, but he's let it happen twice. Come on.
I mean, in this standard, should it even happen once?
Yes.
Okay.
Sometimes, you just forget. It's fine. But after he uses that Ghost Walk the first time, you should be like, okay, well, that can't happen again. This Lina almost has a Yules, and then I'm expecting big things from SCCC. He needs to make things happen on this map. Try and get some pick-offs. These two squishy supports in the Wisp and the Disruptor are really easy kills. But I'm just a little bit worried that when he gets his Yules, this Tiny has his Blink already at the same time. Then it's... this Lina still has to be very careful then, because she's not tanky. I was wondering whether the Gyro would build BKB after the drums, but he goes back for that Maelstrom. I think that was something we talked about in the series yesterday, wasn't it, with the Gyrocopter? Whether he might just rush the BKB, but wants to go on the slightly greedy route. When you get that Agnim's bonus from the Wisp as well, it's nice to have the Maelstrom up.
True, true. Smoke out now in the bottom lane, though. XCJ actually cancels his TP at the last minute there. And now stun comes out onto PYW. LSA does connect onto the Tiny. Now, well, XCJ just throws down the ultimate, and that's actually going to be enough to help out the Tiny there.
Yeah, they didn't commit the Laguna there from SCCC, so it's not the end of the world for Newbee. They didn't really lose anything apart from the use of a smoke.
Well, those smokes are important.
They are, most definitely.
Well, Moogie just going to go and take some ancient stacks here. He's got an Arcane Rune as well, which is actually really nice. 8 mana cost on Searing Arrows. Feels good. It worries me that they're kind of just leaving this IO Gyro to do their thing. Yes, yeah, they really... I mean, Newbee have a plan, obviously. The Wyvern's pretty good against them.
It is good against them, but I think Serenity, they're quite happy to pick the IO Gyro into the Wyvern anyway, so, they're so experienced with this combination. And I say they're going to let them do their own thing.
Yep, now they come up and try to gank them, and now a center ulti is used. Stun out onto the Gyrocopter. Can they finish him off? GGG getting low. They now go Sing Q, and GGG all alone gets brought down as Newbee pick up 2 in the top lane.
Yeah, XCJ and ZYD on these Invoker and the Disruptor had actually smoked up towards top because they were expecting that rotation to happen, but they were just slightly too late, unfortunately.
Not quite quick enough. Need to get their running shoes on next time. Well, Tranquils are picked up by the Wisp. This Wisp currently has Tranquil, Boots, Bottle, and Earnest Shadow. So this guy's got money. He's doing well. Meanwhile, Smoke's in the mid lane. They want to go on to ZYD. Oh, the Tornado actually connects, though. Onto Faith. He was going for the swap, and he got Tornadoed, and I'm fairly certain ZYD cast it before he even came out of the smoke, so...
I would have liked to have seen a Spirit Vessel on the Invoker this game before the Axe, but...
Yes, me too.
It's not the end of the world. I think just having the nice, raw HP is really nice against the Centaur, especially. Yeah, if he gets the point boost, he'll have some as well, but... It's, I feel like we don't really see Spirit Vessel on Crossflex Invoker anymore. They nearly always go for the Axe first.
Yeah, it's kind of become more common to pick up that Aghanims.
Right, Tiny has his Blink now. This is...
Good job, Tiny.
He has no mana, unfortunately, at the moment.
Oh, okay.
So
no big Blink reveal, maybe.
Unfortunately not. But are they looking to smoke here? Doesn't look like it, actually.
PYW actually walking back to base. Yeah, he is.
Yeah, he needs the mana to be able to do the combo.
Yeah, he doesn't want to show until, he absolutely has to until they go for that kill. Otherwise, the whole Blink reveal is kind of ruined because Newbee are going to be all over that. They're going to be checking constantly.
I'm interested to see whether Serenity... I was going to say, I don't think they'll defend this top tier 1, but they might look to try and take a fight afterwards. Catch some stragglers.
Oh, ZYD running in with the Ghost Walk. Coming right and behind here. Meanwhile, the Courier coming out. Not bringing anything super exciting. Just some
Is he looking
Tranquils
to
for
kill the
Faith.
Courier?
Not sure he can,
If he uses Alacrity, he might.
But Mugi is here. ZYD, they know because they can't see the Ghost Walk, and now the dust comes out. ZYD instantly with the tornado. Oh no, SCCC is tripping in here as well. ZYD in a whole lot of trouble, but in comes PYW. They're turning it around onto SCCC here. What can they do? Meanwhile, cooldown is down, and there's your Winter's Curse. Gonna blow up that Wisp. And now, Faith very low. Gets Glimpse back. XCJ will find that kill now. PYW, low HP, tosses away the Centaur.
Flame, I was going to say, Flame would be very... I'd be amazed if he decided to go back in there. It looked like he was lurking, but he's just... Oh, he actually doesn't have his blink yet. He's still 200 gold away, so... Yeah, this Lena's... It looked like it was going to be a perfect initiation for them on the Invoker, but PYW just stormed in. Made sure his Invoker was safe.
Yeah, the Centaur chose to go for the Hood of Defiance first, which I think is fine versus the Invoker. And the Gyro actually does a lot of magic damage also. Okay, Moxie gets all of his mana drained. Goodbye.
I was just thinking of that. That was interesting. He's actually gone for the Max Arctic Burn over the Max Splinter Blast first as well, which is different.
Yeah, yeah. No Cold Embrace, which was quite common.
I think the Cold Embrace doesn't really do anything this game though, in all fairness. Like, it's nearly all magic damage at this point in the game.
Yeah.
The Gyro's right clicks are such a little amount of the damage. In comparison.
He has got a Maelstrom, but that's also, you know, very good versus Cold Embrace.
Like they have the Avatos combo, you know, the static Invoker spells.
Meanwhile, in the jungle, down goes SCCC. ZYD dusted up as well. This Invoker getting up onto the high ground. They need a little bit more damage to finish him off. They're just going to use a Winter's Curse to hold him still. And 3, 2, 1, stand up. Oh, PYW comes in to keep ZYD alive a little bit longer. Gets a kill, but unfortunately ZYD does fall. Now PYW in trouble as well as the strafe comes through from Mugi, and he's going to get a double kill.
I'm really surprised PYW went for that. That was pretty brave. That you have to accept that your Invoker's probably going to die there. They got like one return kill, which is nice, onto Faith, but you know, it's only Faith.
It's only Faith, yeah.
I'm pretty sure Newbee are happy to make that trade. But again, Io Gyro, just doing their thing. He's actually
farming away.
Yardy.
Oh, okay.
Gyro.
That is, alright.
I think he'll change his mind and build BKB anyway. I think it's really important up against this this Lina and the Centaur that you have it available. He might be thinking that, you know, if I get initiated on, then it's really important that I can just try and stay alive throughout the burst of the Centaur and the Lina. So that's one reason he could be building the Skadi. You know, it's good at kiting people around as well. But
stun out on the bottom lane onto the Tiny. Centaur used as well. Is Faith coming in for this one? Yeah. Yeah, there's 4 heroes here. I think PYW could be in a spot of bother. So they surround him, and, well, he's going to drop.
Yeah, Newbee are committing really hard for kills every time. They're getting the kills, but you know, they're using a lot of resources to take them. Or relocate mid.
Going down, Winter's Curse immediately onto the Io. If you want to fight, you are going to lose that Io. And they actually find SCCC here, though. And Gyrocopter could have bitten off more than he can chew right now. Tornado does come through to help out a little bit, but Gyro's going to fall. Doesn't get the TP away.
Yeah, Newbee really making this Wyvern work up against the Io Gyro. It gets a little bit harder later on, but at the moment, Wasey's playing this, you know, Wyvern super well. He's had a good tournament so far, I would say.
Yeah, I agree. I love this counter pick as well. Every time they relocate in, the Io dies. It's just like, okay, this is going to cost you more than just your ultimate cooldown. This is going to cost you your life. Got to be ready to commit.
I wonder what the Wisp builds to help deal with this. Like, he's got this Buckler. I wonder if he's looking to try and build a Crimson this game instead of the normal mech. I'll be interested to see.
Keep an eye on the Gyro next time. Let's see if he moves his items to his backpack. I don't think you want to in this situation because the Winter's Curse lasts, what is it, 4 seconds? Yeah, 4.75 seconds at level 2. And backpack takes it at 6 or 7 seconds? 6 seconds. So that's still going to be, even if you're really, really quick, that's still going to be like 4 seconds, and then so you've got 2 extra seconds after that after that Winter's Curse ends, where you wouldn't have your items, and I think that is pretty damn critical. It's
not even that. Like, if he dies before the Winter's Curse ends, then that's even more time where he wouldn't have any items. So he has to be careful. Oh, they actually scan out when they die. They see this somebody's lurking around this top rune.
Yeah, I think this is just Inflame, like going for a cheeky steal. Okay, no, they're actually going for something here. GGG's not scared though.
He should be.
Yes.
They have all their vision on
Yeah.
Newbee, so this is.
I'm very surprised that Inflame's not going for this. Now they pop the Centaur ulti. Stun out. It's going to land onto both, but Mugi is nowhere to be found. So a little bit awkward here, I would say.
Yeah, it looked like a.
Oh, now the cooldown, the glimpse as well. Oh no, Inflame's in a lot of trouble here, as that was a beautiful glimpse coming out from XCJ.
What a cool! The cooldown gave vision for the glimpse. That was amazing.
Oh wow.
Really nice play by ZZZ.
Agreed.
They don't really have the best vision available to use the glimpse. That's one thing I would say. You know, we used to see Slardar quite a long time ago. Things like Bounty Hunter, Disruptor used to be a really popular combo. Not so much anymore since laning stage means a lot, but the only really spell they have is the one that they just used in the cooldown to give vision. Maybe a Tornado as well.
Tiny illusions. Even the illusions do a lot to the tower. Meanwhile, XCJ does get blown up in the top lane. Just Mugi hunting. He's actually gone for the Maelstrom as well.
Something that didn't ever used to get picked up at all before. It's started to get a lot more popular. Gives you it's more farming potential over anything.
Yeah, and also since they changed the Maelstrom to not give attack speed anymore, that suits Klink's much better. He can just take the tower. Yeah, one hit on the tower. PYW blinks away. He didn't realize he was just going for the tower kill.
Yeah, I'm surprised they didn't deny that there on Serenity. Maybe they didn't see. Hard to know.
ZYD in the bottom lane, just kind of watching the Centaur farm here, watching from the tree line, from the shadows.
It's so sad as a gyrocopter to see this 11 rocket barrage damage talent, and used to remember you used to get the +3 flat cannon attacks. That's
good times. Not really.
So
Disruptor is dead, by the way. PYW jumping in with the toss back as well. But oh, in the back lines actually, Invoker's getting brought down by SCCC. Does find the kill. Now the Winter's Curse onto the IO. Surprise, surprise. They do bring him down. Now GGG on the retreat. The cooldown not going to do enough though. Down goes GGG. Swap is out. PYW. The final kill needs to be taken by Newbee. Nice avalanche, nice toss, but it's not enough as Newbee clean up all 5 heroes on the side of Serenity, and that just did not work.
Yeah, this team fight by Newbee is fantastic.
How good is this Winter's Curse?
Yeah, they're really struggling to deal with it on the side of Serenity. It feels like they've not given this Wyvern pick any respect. They just wanted to play this IO Gyro, and every single fight this Winter's Curse has come out, Wakesy's always in the right position.
Like, do you not just get like a Ghost Scepter on the IO and hope that you can use it before the Winter's Curse comes out?
You could do, yeah. That's one route. I honestly think he could go for this Crimson Guard instead. Oh, he's getting mech. All right. Fair enough.
Sunstrike onto SCCC. Alright. About 200 damage.
They really need some BKBs up on the dire side as well, more than anything. Like the Centaur damage, the Lina damage can all be completely negated.
Yep. Gyro's going to finish off this Scaddy and then probably head over to the BKB, I would hope.
Yeah, this is the other thing with the BKB on the Gyro. You can't be affected by the Winter's Curse if they don't use it on you. So all of a sudden it wouldn't matter at all. Like this Winter's Curse just wouldn't do anything anymore.
Do you reckon Zinkyu's like, please, please build a BKB? You know, some games where you're the support and you're just going, guys, you need to buy BKB, and this game Zinkyu's begging, like, please stop killing me.
I mean, the thing is, even when you get BKB on the Gyro, he's just going to use it on you instead. So just try and waste some of that BKB duration, and then you just kill him afterwards.
It sucks, but it is necessary to build, I think. Meanwhile, it's a 5-man smoke coming out from Newbee, running down this middle lane, and they do find PYW. This Tiny is going to get beaten down by the Klinks here. One more hit. Ooh, Mugi finds it.
I feel like that was a lot closer than it should have been.
Yeah, they were very calm about that, weren't they? They were just like, yeah, we'll get it. Now, Roshan is going to be called, but the Sunstrike comes down. Is there going to be a response from Serenity? They do have the buyback available on the Tiny. They're going to go for this. EMP used. That's going to force Newbee back. Oh, they catch the Gyro, though. SCCC gets GGG straight away. And now Serenity needs to get themselves out, but there's a swap onto ZYD. Jump in and stun.
Relocate.
Relocate out. They don't get him. Wow, that's something I haven't seen in a long time. And they should be able to kill this Wisp. Is he going to pull off any shenanigans here? No. He's going to go down like a hero. Inflame charging up that stomp. And down you go, Zinky.
That's the first defensive relocate I've seen in ages.
Yeah, it was.
Imagine
tasty.
getting one of those off in the current patch.
Jeez, what a player. All right. In case you don't know, it is now channeled, for those of you that aren't down with the Dota lingo. So very difficult to get off from that defensive situation, but, well, not for XinQ.
And this is going to be a roche for Newbee, so using this Aegis, probably looking to try and shut the map down a little bit more, secure the rest of these outer towers. Just try and really start to choke Serenity out the map.
BKB out on the Clinks as well. That feels like a very dominant move. That's saying, you know, yeah, we're ready to fight now. We're ready to go. Let's get into it.
Yeah, they know they're strong. They're ready to go. This is their time to win the game. They're ahead. You know, we've talked about how Asta, for example, are one of these teams that are really good at, you know, when they're ahead, they stay ahead. And so with these BKB timings, that's really going to help Newbee secure their fights, especially while Serenity don't have their BKBs. I'm really not sure about this Skadi on the gyro. It's
yeah, it's an interesting one, isn't it? Like, I guess he's got the Ags buff from the Wisp, so in that sense, it's kind of cool.
It makes him super tanky, like.
Yeah, and it's not pure damage, which is just going to end up killing the Wisp even more. But yeah, I don't know. We'll see.
Look at where Serenity are playing at the moment. Really trying to force something down here in this bot jungle.
They are occupying somewhat as Mugi invised up, looking, scouting.
But look at the Serenity wards on the map. There's like a line across the Radiant side.
Yeah.
They've just got these 3 wards. They want to get these deep wards down to see where the rotations are coming from and where they're going to. But
BKB's up on the Lina, BKB's up on the Clinks. Can't help but feel Newbee are going to be wanting to really force something right now.
Yeah.
That's a Daedalus out actually
yeah.
on the Lina, Jesus.
I was going to say, SCC with the Daedalus, they click really hard now as well. And the thing is, when he gets this level 25 and he gets the attack range talent, they can just start ploughing through these towers from such a far distance.
Yeah, absolutely. Clinks as well, pretty good for that, though he doesn't have the Dragon Lance. Now, Inflame jumps in, gets a stun off onto the Tiny, but they don't want to overcommit to this. XCJ not going to go for the glimpse. Tornado comes flying forwards. Just looking at the level differences here, like Inflame is level 18, PYW is 14. Like,
XCJ's still level 9 on the Disruptor.
Scared.
It's 28 minutes.
Wow.
That's
that doesn't feel very good.
Probably the latest level 10 I've seen in quite a long time.
You can do it, XCJ. He's not too far away.
Yeah, the fact that Disruptor doesn't get an early GPM talent, I think, hurts him as well. Has to wait until he's level 20. You know, when do you ever see a Disruptor get to level 20? It just doesn't happen.
Yeah, yeah. PYW being stalked now by Mugi. And going to commit to this. PYW has have the toss. Oh, actually tossed him away from the Sunstrike, but PYW going to go for the tower and now get brought down. So, you know, he got the tower at least.
I like that he's trying to make things happen, though.
Yeah.
They're not just sitting back. They have to try and make something happen here, because otherwise they're just going to start to get out-farmed, out-choked on the map, and just really fall behind.
Just pushing for something. Anything. Even if it's just space for GGG and XinQ. Top lane, ZYD could be in a lot of trouble here. There's the Eels coming out. And there's the Light Strike Array. Goes invisible, but this time they have Dust. And down goes ZYD.
And this is a really good place for Newbee to win a fight, because it's just outside the Serenity base. They get the pick off. They can instantly transition this into an objective. They're going to be feeling really good about this one.
Absolutely. So, up onto the high ground we go, and you got a Clinks, you got a Lina. These towers don't stand a chance. Meanwhile, the bottom line, though, GGG and XinQ are going to be trying to push down this tier 2, but this doesn't seem like a worthwhile trade. If you whip out the calendars, it's not worth. The value is not there. Buyback from Invoker, is that enough to force him back? Well, that's CCC sticking around. He's going to stay for the range frags. Now, gets tossed up, avalanched as well. Team still behind him. Stun actually comes out to CYW. Oh. Yeah, SCC's just going to grab that one with the last minute crit. Not that it was needed.
The thing is, he has the Aegis on SCC, so he's not really worried.
Well, Serenity, I mean, GGG is on the high ground and taking down a tier 3 of his own, but they've taken the racks and now they can just get themselves back out. Although Mugi gets glimpsed up here, this could be huge. Can they catch him? Meanwhile, down at bottom, GGG just playing around with Inflame. Back up to top, and Mugi.
The relocate comes in.
They're going up top. They certainly are going into everybody. The light strike away just comes out immediately, and Gyrocopter can't do a thing. He's blown up. Meanwhile, LTOID trying to make something happen in the backlines, but nothing can be done. The Gyrocopter is already dead. Meanwhile, XCJ being hunted by Mugi. Mugi can't find the last hit. Now up onto the high ground. It's Tiny in the backlines trying to just do anything he can. As the tornado comes out, but Triple C does survive. Even if he didn't, he's got an Aegis. There was no risk. Now that Aegis runs out, very fortunate timing to get his HP and mana back. And now they can just continue the siege.
Yeah, they know this is...
Good game's called. That's it.
Do you know
Game 1.
Do you know what the best bit about this is for Newbee? They didn't just beat Serenity, they beat the IO Gyro.
They broke the IO Gyro. Exactly what I was going to say as well. That is a big win for them.
I was very impressed this game with the whole of Newbee, honestly. They played the map really well. It felt like they're always making the right rotations at the right time. But yeah, the IO Gyrocopter felt really underwhelming this game. I don't think they got one good relocate gank off the whole time. You know, when you're not using this whole global function that the IO brings to you and you can't use it well, then it almost feels like the hero's wasted.
Absolutely, I agree. And, like, you know, the strength of the IO Gyro lies in your ability to relocate around the map and get kills, especially in the early game, to give you that kind of global presence, help you gain the momentum to kind of steamroll the rest of the game. And with the way Wakesy was playing it, and he was playing it so well, like this Winter Wyvern, with those curses, just constantly be killing the Wisp, it just destroyed their momentum, and in an entirely momentum-based duo, that basically just cost them the game. It's
really difficult for Serenity. This Invoker pick didn't work at all either, I don't think, which was...
No, that was... It was an interesting idea. I could see where they were going with it. But yeah, it just felt like it didn't really achieve a whole lot against the Newbee lineup. I don't know if they were playing around him very well, or, you know, it was just hard to see him pulling out any kind of big... I think, as we said before, you know, the Urn is nice, but I think you need the Spirit Vessel to actually stand a chance of offering, like, kill potential by yourself.
I think the Disruptor as well is something we talked about in the draft, where if you're playing from behind, the hero feels really underwhelming. And this game, like, they really wanted to get the ball rolling, find these +1s that we talked about with the Tiny, the Disruptor. You know, you have this kill potential, but with the way that the laning stage started, you know, this Invoker got crushed a little bit. Gyro and IO were doing fine, but it was everybody else that was suffering, it felt like. And then they could just deal with the IO Gyro with the curses.
Yeah, exactly.
So they didn't care if they were farmed.
Yeah.
It was fine.
And poor XCJ. He was level 9. At the end of the game, he never hit his level 10, never even got his first talent. God, hard life support, eh?
That feels really sad.
It does feel really sad. How long was the game? Like,
it was quite
30-minute game, 30 minutes and 33 seconds, and he didn't find level 10.
Well,
meanwhile, the Winter Wyvern was 18.
But if you look forward going into this series now, we know Serenity can take games off Newbee. They can take games off each other. What are they going to bring different to the table in the next draft? Do you think they'll go back for the IO Gyro again if it's still in the pool?
Well, they shouldn't. I don't think they should. Because they're in, but now they're in this horrible drafting position, right? Where the IO Gyro is still a real risk. It's something they have to consider. They have to consider banning the IO versus Newbee, because Newbee will have first pick now, right? Like,
I don't think do Newbee play IO that much though. I know when Kaká used to play for them, they didn't really pick the IO too much. They had a little bit of a phase where they did, but I wouldn't really call IO a Newbee hero. But with Wakesy, I don't think I've seen them play it yet. But
right.
They probably can. I think every position 4 player plays Wisp at this point if they're on a pro team.
Okay. All right. Well, we shall see. Game 2 coming up shortly. We'll be right back after some adverts.
ESL One Hamburg is brought to you in part by Intel, Mercedes-Benz, Vodafone, DHL, Alienware, Logitech G, and PaySafeCard.